Do you want to learn how to get XP the fastest way so you can get to a level 1000 as soon as possible and then unlock the Seraphic Rod, which is the new best rod in Fish? Then make sure you watch this video because I'm going to tell you 3 different methods along with multiple different spots that are the best ways to get XP. And it doesn't matter what rod or what setup you have, I'm going to have a tip that will help anyone no matter what part of the game you're at. So make sure you watch to the end. And once we hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a game pass of your choice to the winner. So make sure you comment your Roblox username in the comments, because if you didn't know, there is a double XP game pass which will also help you get to this way faster. So make sure you drop a comment with your username. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. But yeah, on to the video and on to the first method. So the first method is called the speed method, where you want to use any rod that has a fast lure speed. So any rod, if you already have the no life rod, that is probably one of the best things you can use. Other rods, like I'm using the rod of depths right now, even the trident rod. You can also use the rod of the forgotten fang. Anything that has a pretty fast lure speed, you're going to want to use. You're going to want to avoid any rods that is like the king's rod or anything that is slower. That's meant for bigger fish. You just want something that's really fast. And then you want to make sure that you have an enchant like a hasty, swift, or quality, anything that gets you even faster lure speed, because the fastest way to get XP is either you want the enchants and your rod to make sure you get the best fish consistently and make sure you perfect catch them, or you want to make sure that you're catching the most fish in a certain time frame so you can get more XP that way. So for this rod, you can use any bait that gives you a good preferred luck, or you can do something if you want a bit more resilience, because if you get a perfect catch, it gives you a XP boost. So that's another way. So you can get a bit more resilience with some certain bait if you're fine with that. And my rod, I have hasty on it, so I'm using hasty to combine with the already high lure speed of the rod of the depths, and I feel like it's a pretty common one. And you also have the passive where you can catch an extra fish, which can give you even more XP. So that's it for the speed method. You just want to make sure you have a rod that has really good lure speed, and you want to pair that with preferably hasty enchants and use any bait for preferred luck or resilience to try to get those perfect catch. And yeah, on to the next method. The next method is the max XP method. So this is where you want to get as much XP per fish as possible. And this is better if you have a really end game rod. Like if you already have the no life rod, this is probably the way to go, because if you have one of those, you don't even need to really get the speed enchants because you already have a really fast catching rod. So this one, you want to make sure you have the clever enchant, because this gives you 2.25 times XP. If you already have the double XP game pass and you get a perfect catch, you're going to get a ridiculous amount of XP per fish. And you want to either use bait that buffs your luck, your lure speed, or resilience, depending what rod you have for this. And you want to use Aurora totems or anything else to boost your luck. But yeah, this definitely works better if you already have a really good rod, because clever is a really good enchant. Even if you're using the fast method, if you get clever before you get hasty or anything like that, I would keep clever because it's really good for farming XP. And for the third method, this is the budget method. This is where you are struggling for money, so you use the best rod that you have, preferably the highest speed if you're at a cheaper rod in the game. But you want to try to get hasty and clever if possible. Those are just the 2 best enchants for doing the XP farming. But this is a key tip you can use for any method, but it's really helpful in the budget method. And you're going to want to go to the fish game page, and if you scroll down, you can see all the different servers that are live in Fish right now. And if you sort them by the servers that have the most people in them, usually a server is only full if people want to be in that server. So something's going on in that server. And I've used this anytime there's a new update or anytime I really want to farm anything to join. You just join a server that's almost full and you get in and you see if there's any buffs going on. And if there is, you just stay and you farm there. And even doing this method, I joined the first server I joined this method to record my clips. I got an Aurora server and he popped 3 Aurora totems, and you can either get max luck, Aurora, anything like that, but you want to just have any type of buff because that makes you get way better fish and makes you get way more XP for your time. And then now we're going to talk about the best spots that you want to go farm at. So to determine a good spot, the Fish Wiki tells you how much XP you get per fish. So you really want to look at all the spots that have high XP mythical fish that are either easy to catch or fast to catch. And the first spot is, if you have access to the Kraken pool, it is a decent spot to fish because you can also get the Kraken along with farming XP. And if you do get the Kraken, its base XP is 10,000. So if you have any multipliers, that can get up to like 30, 40, 50,000 for one fish, which is really, really high. And its mythicals are also 4,000 and 3,000, which is also pretty solid. So it is a pretty good spot, and you can farm for the Kraken, but this is pretty end game. And if you've gotten to the Kraken pool by now, I would definitely farm there. It's really solid. But the next place, this is the easiest place. This is perfect for the budget method, or even for almost any method, because it is still really good. And that is the Forsaken Shores Pond. This location is really good because there's a very, very limited amount of fish you can catch. So the mythical you catch is very consistent, and you can get it really often. And its base XP is 2,800, which seems low, but catching the goldfish is super easy. And in this clip I'm about to show you, I caught it 4 times in a row when I'm testing this out, and it's not super hard to get perfect catch because there's like no resilience on it. So if you have clever and you can get perfect catch, you can get a ton of XP here really fast. So it's still a solid spot, and especially if you have a lower end setup. And the last location I'm going to talk about is one of the newer locations, and you want to go over behind Forsaken, and this is where you can find the Grand Reef. And if you want the exact coordinates, the X is negative 3,576, the Y is 151, and the Z is 523. So if you go to that exact location, you'll be at the Grand Reef. But once you're at the Grand Reef, it's also a really solid location because the fish that you want to catch here is the Grand Reef Guardian, which has a base XP of 3,500. So it has more than the Forsaken Shores Pond. And then plus, like when I say the base XP of these, is like the lowest XP you can get. So with any of these buffs, you're going to be getting way more. But the only issue in this spot is there's the one mythical, but there is a bit of a bigger fish pool. There's more different types of fish you can get than in the Forsaken Shores, and that the fish all have really high resilience, like progress speed buffs. The Grand Reef Guardian has a negative 60% progress speed, which makes catching them a lot slower. So you have a rod that's going to take a while to catch them. It may be better just to go to the Forsaken Shores Pond because you can get them way faster there, and they're also easier to perfect catch. But it is also a super good location if you want to XP farm. And now there is a few honorable mentions. Places like the depths is also really solid, and any spot where you can catch squids in Ancient Isles is still a really solid spot. So pretty much any of these, if you use any of the 3 methods for your setup, I said at the start, are really solid. But yeah, just farm these and grind these out, and eventually you will get to level 1,000. This is pretty much the best way you can get XP. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys get to level 1,000 and get this new rod because it does look insane. And make sure to subscribe and drop your Roblox username in the comments to be entered in for the giveaway once I hit 5,000 subscribers. And hopefully I can give you guys another 2 XP Game Pass, or pretty much whatever Game Pass you want. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.